When I started the Northwest Kitchen Tabernacle and the website, it was and still is the intent to give the public the truth and to actually compare the demons of biblical times using names of that time and the demons of today and using their names. No dispute, because their words and actions are a matter of public record. Now, I'm not afraid to proclaim myself a Christian, but by doing so, I have felt the persecution of Satan's demons. I'm not afraid of speaking the truth, but by doing so, I proved at least one judicial system. Lies are used to convict and the truth to disregard. I have been persecuted because of this. But pretty soon there'll be a new sheriff arriving on a national basis. And the next few years might just show a balancing of the scales. Now, talking about the elderly, and I think I qualify, 1 Timothy 5:1 and 2, people should speak respectfully to older men and treat older women as they would their mothers. Now, Carla Mager kind of bypassed this part of the Bible, and the letter Timothy received from the Apostle Paul. But maybe she is in the habit of treating older women the same as she does her mother. I believe she is 180 degrees off the mark. But then again, that's pretty standard among others that were involved in the nightmare of Joanne Kemper. Carla Mager is the daughter of Joanne Kemper, and on January 6th of 2022, she did embezzle $45,000 from her mother. Then again, on January 11th, 2022, Carla Mager filed court orders that essentially kept Joanne Kemper a prisoner in her own home. She had barely any contact with the outside world. For some unknown reason, Carla Mager come under the protection of the Clark County judicial system. Also, the Washington State Department of Health and Human Services. Even the Vancouver Police Department. Not to mention, all of her neighbors turned her back on that lady. 1 Peter 5:5, younger people should submit to their elders and clothe themselves with humility. Now, to be clothed with humility means, for God resisteth the proud and give grace to the humble. Proverbs 8:13, pride of self-righteousness or conceit is a sin. God hates it mainly because pride hinders man's desire to seek and find the one true God. Now, that pretty much defines a person suffering from narcissistic disorder. But here are some more scriptures for you to ponder. Job 12:12. Wisdom belongs to the aged, and understanding to the old. Isaiah 46:4. God promises to sustain and carry people even in their old age. Hebrews 7:25. Jesus intercedes for seniors at all times. God punishes those who harm the elderly through the concept of divine justice, which often involves facing consequences in this life or the afterlife. Committing such acts of cruelty as the Bible emphasizes the importance of respecting and caring for the elderly. Harming them is considered a grave sin that will not go unpunished by God. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. In his justice he will pay back those who persecute you. I believe that Commissioner Jill Sasser and the Clark County judicial system wronged Joanne Kemper when the commissioner announced in court, or I should say she answered a question in court, and the question was, why won't you let Joanne Kemper be happy? And her response was, we must look at things in a different light. Well, when she used the word we, she was putting all magistrates of Clark County Superior Court into an inclusive group. Prior to her appointment as commissioner, Jill Sasser conducted mock trials to the members of the Clark County Bar Association. Now, her habit of circumventing the law, I pray she didn't pass that trait on to other attorneys of Clark County, Washington. But after viewing how Attorney Charles Isley and Attorney Grant Brower conducted themselves, I think she might have passed it on. Now, a few years back, one attorney did buck the system, and she beat it. Her reward, she got disbarred a few years later. Those are dots that even a blind man could connect. Probably a good reason why neither Ken Mosher or Joanne Kemper could find honest representation in the Superior Court of Clark County, Washington. It's not available. I believe Judge Nancy Ratsenas wronged Joanne Kemper when she first lied to her by saying in court, on tape, they would find a caregiver other than Carla Mauger or Reese Minor. However, she allowed an appointed representative named Stacy Bollinger to place Reese Minor in that position. A person with a history of mental issues. No work record, no domestic talents, no skills, no ambition. All this and paying him above scale wages for performing even the simplest tasks, like taking out the garbage. Instead, the court approved additional charges against Joanne Kemper's bank account, so others are paid to cover his negligence. Now, unlike man's courts, it's God's habitual practice and normal behavior to be just and fair. So you can be sure people who have wronged the elderly will get what they deserve. I do not gloat in this. It was not of my doing, but that of their own. I do not share their hate tendencies. Quite the contrary. I pray for these people. And the one thing I am certain of, God will rule in the end.
The forbidden fruit is where it all began. Just one law to test the fate of man. Then one sin led to another, and Cain killed his only brother. So it came to be the first male born became the first one scorned. Nero played the fiddle as he burned Rome, then punished the poor Christians he blamed it on. He put to death his mother, one wife and then another. Then came his last grievous sin, when he killed himself in the end. We all face the final verdict, come what may. Believe me, it'll come Judgment Day. Will your spirit be set free or bound eternally? Guess we'll have to wait and see the final verdict. Throughout mankind, evil's always been. Only one man ever born was without sin. Follow him, you'll change your fate. Turn from sin, it's not too late. If you don't believe, he'll judge you and me. Chapter 3, 2 Timothy. We all face the final verdict, come what may. Believe me, it'll come Judgment Day. Will your spirit be set free or bound eternally? Guess we'll have to wait and see the final verdict. Will your spirit be set free or bound eternally? Guess we'll have to wait and see the final verdict.